Hello everyone, Mike the MC, bringing another self-care video. Today I'm going to talk to you about the danger of change and how it relates to your social company. And I think there's so many things to consider, especially after what I've gone through the first week seeing for my new job, now as I finish school as well at the same time. And there are some good things I can share with you now as being a practical video. And so from what I saw the first week at my new work, being a caseworker, I saw that making the effort to be out there to be with people to see what I can do for that change, you come to see more of the community and the people that you're helping and their circumstances that have put them in their situations. And there are so many times where you look at these situations and you think, wow, I mean, some people are more fortunate than others, okay. Some people have made better choices than others, okay, that's another thing. But then I always think about the people that fell into their situations because of people that made terrible ones around them, that put others in bad positions. And you think, okay, is that fair, unfair? And what happens when the people that we put down all of a sudden become more powerful than who we thought they would become? And I was just reflecting here as I was lying down on the bed just for a quick break. I was just thinking how to myself right now, okay, the fact that I am resting on my bed right now on my back, just thinking about how my week went, how I've gone through the changes of helping myself and other people, it's a good thing, right? I'm learning to separate from the negative people, to stand up for myself, to say no to others, to say yes to myself. And my manager even said, there is self-care, but there's also self-neglect. And self-neglect meaning that, okay, I am neglecting the goods that are due to me. Otherwise, by neglecting myself, I'm also in the long run going to neglect the ability to help other people because I'm not taking care of myself. And so the thing is, right, you can go and be kind and generous and help other people. As another one mentor put it to me, there's empathy and sympathy. Now the empathy, I would argue, is that you're out there to be out and about and empathize with people and try to understand the situation. But the sympathy, I feel, would be the negative, where you want to sympathize to the point of falling into depression, wanting to understand the situation, but then feeling that you have to be the hero and just solve the day, its problems, and you're figuring out all these ways to figure out a way for people to get out of their situations. And I think we have to problem solve and make a difference, of course. And so I think there's a healthy way and a negative way to go about that kind of change. When you recognize, okay, if I'm going to make these changes, people are now going to come after me. People are now going to come after you because you are now making an effort to change, to really become something that no one really wanted you to be. And you think, wow, when you overcame all the abusers from the past, when you reflect and think, okay, I went from one abusive relationship to the next. How maybe we had one abusive friend in school, then it went to high school, then to college. And you recognize in the patterns, oh, it was reflected back to me that I was very sympathetic. I was very sympathetic to people who had power. And then I could think, okay, wait a minute. Am I sympathizing with the power? In a negative context, okay, what if I empathized and thought, okay, in a positive sense, I empathize with people and recognize, okay, some people are more beneficial or benefiting better than others. And maybe I don't have to fall for that trap of power to empathize with the powerful. Maybe I can empathize with the weak and realize, okay, maybe I can bring the balance back to this side of the community, right? You're thinking like, okay, maybe kind of like idea of a master trying to bring back peace to the community. All right, you want to bring peace back to the people around you? How are you going to make that difference? Are you going to get smarter? Are you going to work harder? Are you going to change your hours? How are you going to change to make that difference? But then recognize that people around you may not want you to make that change. As a peacemaker, it is very difficult to be one. Very difficult to be somebody that can make a difference because people will now come after you knowing that you are now disrupting their business. You are disrupting the peace that held them in that power. And that is why powerful people are afraid of the troublemaker who can make peace in a radical sense. Peace to where, okay, I don't need the fame and the glory, but I do want the others around me to succeed because I know how to bring that change to their lives in a realistic manner. And that is what scares the powerful from those who are really able to make a difference. And that is why you should never give up on yourself being a peacemaker and wanting to make that change. But be prepared. When people are going to come after you, they will come after you. And you are going to have to be strong in those moments of criticism from the powerful. And I think when I think back about the differences that I've made in the past and where I'm at right now today, I'm here for a reason, and so are you. And you will find your way to getting out of those ruts and situations to make the difference for people as well. And when we're willing and ready to face the consequences of that criticism and to be strong with who we are, it's a beautiful thing. And we're able to say no, and no more neglecting ourselves, giving ourselves a self-care, and we will find peace knowing that we are strong and stood up against depression. Alright everyone, I hope this video finds you well today. Be strong, courageous, don't give up on yourself. Remember that self-neglect is an unhealthy way of looking at life, and self-care should help you recognize, okay, care for myself, don't neglect myself, give myself the due diligence that I should give myself, the energy, the power, the fuel. Empathize with a healthy manner of people who are in distress, but don't sympathize to the point where you feel that depressive energy. One should be positive and the other is a negative, and I hope you recognize the difference of what I'm trying to tell you in the video, so that way when you recognize, okay, am I going to sympathize or empathize with those who are not struggling and those who are struggling in a healthy manner, and am I going to see the difference between the two and recognize that I can be a peacemaker and make a difference. The self-awareness comes about when you think about these kind of big questions, but you can do it. I know you can, and you and I are going to make a difference for the people around us. Alright everyone, I hope this video finds you well today. Be strong and courageous, think well, think outside the box, don't fall into corruption, and always remember, you and I can make a difference, and we can accept the change and the consequences that people will come up after us when we are ready to make a difference and become heroes. Alright everyone, hope this video finds you well. Take care, have a good one.